All right, welcome back to another video, guys. Probably one of the last times that you will see the white truck, because if you haven't heard by now, this is our latest giveaway, but it is ending probably, if not this day, possibly the next day, this Monday, the 20th. But you guys have a chance to enter to win this truck, but you can't do so if you don't take that chance and do it in the next probably 48 hours or less at wrenchworks.com. So 20 times entries are live for our last week. The truck, the brand new Diamond C trailer, and 10 grand in cash going to one of you guys. Go to wrenchworks.com. This is your last and final probably shot to get entered to win this truck. But we're not done with the truck yet. We've got one last finishing touch that the truck cannot leave here without. Something I've never done before on these 5th gens, but something we're gonna tackle for you guys because we wanna make sure this thing is absolutely perfect and dialed for the next winner, which could be you. This is a 2019 truck, so maybe that gives it away a little bit, but we're gonna go ahead and take care of that for you guys, make sure this thing is as solid as it can be. So let's see what we got and let's dive into the video. All right, well, we got some goodies. Let's get into this. Give you guys a little background. The truck is a 2019. So in 2019, when 5th gens first came out, somebody thought that it was going to be a great idea to put a CP4 fuel injection pump on the trucks. They have since then changed that and rectified all of that on the newer trucks, but in that 19 area, the trucks did come factory with a CP4 pump, which if you guys have heard us kind of talk on the channel or even Google anything about a CP4, you'll find no good results come from anything that's related to a CP4. Before Ram or anybody actually decided to take care of that problem, because there is some recall information that we'll go over, guys at S&S, which you guys know, we've trusted the guys at S&S for all of our fuel injection stuff from the very beginning. They were actually the first ever guys out there to come out with a solution, with a fix, and swap a CP3 pump from all the earlier trucks into these 5th gens. So what we've got here is a Ram CP3 conversion kit, no tuning required. Big thing on this kit, and really to dive into some of me and my personal opinion, is the last place I want to bring any of my own vehicles is the dealer. For somebody random, and I'm not saying all techs are bad, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying I don't like random people touching my stuff, my trucks that I really, really love and care about. You know, sometimes, not all the times, but in my case, I don't think I've ever been to a dealer and had a pleasant experience, whether that's the writer, the tech, something, you got a really nice painted front end. I would much rather take care of any issues with anything I own myself. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna actually install this today on the truck, take care of it with the S&S kit. One other main thing that I wanna do in this video and kind of talk with you guys is some of the major big differences between the S&S CP3 conversion kit and what Ram has out now. Like I said, S&S was the first guys to do the conversion kit, and there's a lot of information out there and some stuff that's much different in the S&S kit than any of the recall stuff that's going out now. So let's dive in, let's open this up, but stay tuned because the big differences in the SNS kit are also another reason why we're doing this instead of just letting Bob at Ram put their recall kit on it. It's not an air freshener. I think it's just a card. You do get a good sticker though. As always, the colored instructions. Nothing but the best from the guys at SNS. Let's go over some details on this because this is where it gets a little different than you may know or any information that you guys may know currently about any type of fix, CP3 conversion, recall, all of that stuff. So like I said, there is a recall that Ram does and SNS still offers this kit if you guys want to take care of it. A lot of guys are getting reimbursed because I believe there is still some shortage and supply and demand issues with dealers possibly getting kits and getting your trucks up and running. SNS has these kits ready to rip if you guys want to do it yourself, but there is, I think we're going to try to as well get reimbursed. So guys were getting reimbursed doing the kit, doing it themselves, or having another shop do it because Ram couldn't do it or get them fast enough or get the parts. So it is a possibility. It has nothing to do with SNS, but if it's something you guys want to do, tackle, there is a way to kind of do this and still get taken care of on the other end. So anyway, what is different about the SNS kit? Now, again, like I said, no changes with the truck, tuning, anything. It is a completely bolt-in, drop-in ready. You don't have to worry about going to the dealer to get reflashed, relearned. If there's anything that's been previously done or installed on your truck and you may not want to deal with the dealer in that aspect, you don't need to deal with any of that and you can still take care of your CP4 problem. The CP3 pump from SNS. Now, this is not a run-of-the-mill average. They don't put the kit together and then just go take a factory CP3 and just say, here's your factory CP3. This pump has been tested, validated across their test bench. Every CP3 conversion for these trucks, they run every single pump and make sure it's good before they put it in a box. What they do when they do all that is they're actually changing some of the parts, pieces, and internals in the pump and improving them at the same time on this kit. So it's not a factory pump. If you guys know anything about CP3s, they actually end up teetering off higher up in the RPM as far as performance, flow, all of that stuff. So what these guys do is they take a lot of their racing application knowledge on CP3s and all of the fuel injection stuff and put it into this pump. All of the fixes, all of the performance increases, even though this is just a drop-in factory style pump, it has a lot of the SNS touch inside of it and then tested as well. Now you may be saying, what does it matter? It's a stock truck. It doesn't really matter. Who really cares? Now, the one part where it ties back into the reason why that's important, not only just because who wouldn't want the best thing possible for your truck, but CP4 spin 50%, 40-50% faster than the normal CP3 on any of the older trucks. That's overspinning and spinning this pump much faster than it normally would. They had to do that in that CP4 application to kind of do and make that work. But that's important to know because when you go drop in your CP3, you're still going to be spinning a little bit faster than any of the traditional trucks that came with CP3. So tying that all together with this graph chart that we'll put up on the screen, you can kind of see how the CP3 performance and flow and all that stuff kind of goes with RPM. Now, if you're spinning the pump faster, you need to make sure that your pump is performing up in that because it's still going to spin that fast. The way SNS does it is the right way, and we've got some mods and performance built into this pump to make sure it can last, perform. And on top of that, of course, they have all of their upgraded pumps on top of like the drop-in no tuning one. You know, you got your more performance models that you can also use with this kit as well. I think that's pretty much it. That's all the yapping that we're gonna do for right now, but those are some of the big major differences and maybe some information that you may or may not have known about the truck, the CP4, the Ram, the SNS kit in general. We got 15 pages of instructions. So we're gonna get after it. We're gonna show you guys the installation as well in this video. But if you guys have, or maybe know somebody that still has a CP4 on their truck, you need to get with them and you need to share this video with them. Of course, we'll link SNS's YouTube channel and their website if you guys want more information. But these kits are ready to rip. Let's just go grab all the tools that we need. Installation tools needed. It's funny. That's weird. Dude, your name's not on here. Look at the bolts. I mean, you ain't getting no cool blue Allen bolts at the dealer. I mean, it's the little things for me. It's cool. I think they did it on purpose because S&S colors are blue. Like, yeah,
no.
No, there's no way. We gotta get some blue bolts, man.
There's no way.
It's the world's most expensive step stool right there. You have to buy a cylinder head to get that. Nice Ames oil change. Of course, you know the deal. Back in she goes. So per the instructions here, we do have to remove our EGR crossover tube and our intake horn to get down access to your CP4, which is right down buried in here. 5th gen's got this really nice heavy duty intake system here, so it is a little challenging to see. We'll do our best to kind of get Dawson in there as deep as possible, but
I don't have a problem there.
All right, back to work. There she goes. All right, so we've got our crossover pipe removed, we've got our intake horn removed, and now you can actually kind of see down in here. As you can see, we've got a couple feed lines from the rail, low pressure feed and return. We're gonna go ahead and start removing some of the lines that we need, and then we'll kind of get to how this is attached to the actual front case here on the front side of the engine. Cruising along here, just give you guys a little update. Again, the S&S instructions with all the descriptions, tooling, all that stuff. I wouldn't say this is technically the easiest thing to do in your driveway, but certainly very, very doable to do yourself for sure. Got him. All right. This is your new fuel supply from the fuel filter base to the CP3.
Made in America.
You know what this makes me want to do? Makes me want to sing.
What does it make you want to sing?
Born in the USA. Want to chime in? No? Second course? All right, cool. Recap action here. So all of our return and supply lines are off. Our high pressure lines are off. Our little support bracket piece is off. And we're getting close to unbolting the CP4, but basically we've gotten kind of everything out of the way up until this point. But that's kind of where we're at as far as the project. Factory feed, return, high pressure lines, that's all going to change with the CP3 kit. So it's really stuff that's not going to go back on. What I want to show you guys, it's a little bit difficult, but we'll try and make some room in there and have Dawson show you guys. But this is an ECU mount. So what happens on the side of the engine, if we can look at it, is you've got, hey, hop up in there. If we look down here, you guys can see your ECM, which is bolted to the side of the block, which this S&S diesel mount right here actually moves the ECM just back a little bit. I believe I messed up my verbiage. It doesn't actually move it back. What it does is it spaces it out.
I see that.
Yeah, see how this is like, see how that looks like the same, and this just actually tilts it out just enough to get it out of the way. So it doesn't actually move it back, I stand corrected.
Just adds camber.
Yeah, you're just part of the camber gang now. So, cool. Well, just want to clarify, I don't know everything. Now that is needed because when we go to swing the CP4 and the CP3 in, their overall shape is slightly different. And I believe that the ECU or ECM, whatever you want to call it, the computer is just slightly in the way of kind of rotating that in. So we do have to address that on this. But as you can see, once everything's kind of removed, it's really not that bad to kind of get in there and do all of that. So that's kind of where we're gonna tackle next. I think after we get the CP4 out. There she goes. I thought about dropping it right on the floor. I actually care about my floor more than this pump. It's a little bit easier to see out of the truck, but CP4s have always been a much smaller pump than a CP3. The guy she told you not to worry about. Small, grande. Okay.
What are the next steps?
It says remove stud So you're gonna need to leave.
Sorry.
Happy to do it, baby.
Doses.
We have to deal with the ECU before we put our big unit in. All right, well, we are officially done taking things apart. So from here on out, we're putting it back together. Got our new ECU mount all prepped up, ready to go. You do have to pull the ECU out of the truck in order to kind of get in there and do all of that. But we are going back together. We're gonna go ahead and reinstall this, reinstall our ECU, and then we can kind of swing in our new pump. You guys can see the old pump basically had studs that go through here. We're gonna put this adapter piece on to get the spacing correct, like so. So if you take this face to this face, we are now equally the same inside the gear case as these gears are rotating around. If you did not use something like this, then you can see our depths would be much off, much off, like that. They'd be off quite a bit. So this adapter allows the pump to use the same camshaft and all of that stuff. We know it's really hard to see down in here, but we did get the new ECU mount on the block, and the ECU is bolted back to the new S&S mount, which you guys can kind of see kind of kicks the ECU off to the side. We went ahead and installed our back plug, and then our front one here, which you can see is blue, goes blue goes to blue down there. The back one is right there. We got the back one connected, and they tell you to leave the front one off, and we are getting ready to go for the good stuff right here down in there with the new pump, the adapter, all that stuff. So that is where we were at. It's time to install our little piece here. Got some new hardware, and we'll start going after this, and then won't be long, we will have our new CP3 on the truck. Okay, well, wanted to give you guys a look here before we go ahead and completely wrap it up. You're not gonna be able to see it anymore, this beautiful pump, but we've got our adapter on and torqued. We've got our pump on and torqued. All the new hardware that they give you the torque specs. After we went ahead and got the pump on, we really just completed the rest of the installation, which was honestly a breeze. So the rest of the installation, the pieces that are in this kit, we kind of took off our high pressure line. We went ahead and put our new high pressure line in that kind of hooks right back up into your factory part of your rail right there, kind of just like every other Cummins-based truck we've messed with before. We've got our FCA electrical connection that kind of loops around and plugs into your factory harness right there. We've got our low pressure feed and return. This is the factory return that we put back on. That works actually really nicely. And then the new feed, which is this blue hose. And you can see you got it nicely routed right underneath there, and then goes back down to your factory location down there. So honestly, would expect nothing less from the guys at S&S, but OEM quality, everything fits really nicely. No issues, no problems. Got our ECU front plug back in. Everything is good, no clearance issues. Really just honestly a super nice kit. So we've got a new fuel filter in there as well from a previous change that we did when we changed the oil before. And we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. We've got the rest of the top part of the engine stuff to put back on. And we are doneskis. We can go ahead and prime the fuel system, check for leaks, but we are cruising on our way there. So we are just about wrapped up. I'm very excited to fire this beast back up. One thing that I will show you guys, and maybe some of you are interested or possibly curious, the old CP4 here went ahead and pulled the bolts for the FCA. What this does is you'll see a lot of bad things happen here if this pump starts to come apart. Amazingly lucky for us, guys, this thing This thing is clean. This pump was actually not coming apart, which is amazing news because that means the rest of our fuel system stayed uncontaminated perfectly nice. You can even see the fuel in there, nice and clean, no issues with that. So super thankful that we are not diving any deeper than just replacing a pump that really wasn't coming apart, but high potential for it to come apart. But fixing that baby up, no issues. Complete, minus one last little finishing touch on your new ride. Make sure she ain't going nowhere. All right, we are now officially finally complete with our S&S CP3 19 to 20 Ram conversion. As always, nothing but 2 thumbs up from anything from the guys over at S&S. We really did not have any issues, any hiccups. I do believe the installation, in my opinion, just because I had never done it before, seemed a little more complicated than it really was. After working through the installation instructions, really went fairly smoothly and not a lot of crazy tools needed to kind of do this. So I do believe if you wanted to, you could tackle this yourself in the driveway, allotted a little bit of time just if you've never done it before. So either that, or you can go through one of S&S's many awesome dealers on their website. Their dealer network is super easy to use. You can find the dealer that's closest to you. But if, again, you have a Ram that is a 19 or 20, I would highly suggest going this route over anything else. So super excited to finally have that complete on this truck. It is now officially finally ready to head to you. But you can't win this truck if you don't get entered. Again, wrenchworks.com. This could finally be your last and final reminder to get entered. Ends tomorrow, Monday, the 20th. This thing is dialed, it is perfect, and it is ready for you. Crazy to think that just a t-shirt, a hat, anything on the website could win you this truck, the trailer, and the 10 grand in cash. So make sure you guys get entered. Huge thank you, as always, to the guys at S&S for supporting us and making sure we are set up with the best fuel systems out there. That's gonna wrap it up. Give this video a big thumbs up. See you guys in the next video very soon. See ya.